Joe has stood up for democracy at home, and he has stood
This should be the last day she defends
abroad.
Joe Biden.
And he has always
She has to do this year because it's like the campaign changing, campaign headquarters,
and many of you
and its
may
campaign
know,
is
I
changing
first
hands.
And you're going to continue to do that so we can elect Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States of America. So let's hear it for Kamala Harris. Thank you.
That's the look of a man that secured the bag. I mean, he did. I mean, they still kiss with more passion than Josh Hawley and his wife.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Can we just give it up again for my husband?
What do you call a male first lady, first gentleman?
It is so
Come
good
on,
to
dude.
hear our president's voice. Joe, I know you're still
He
on.
said a male first lady.
And we've been talking every day. You guys heard it from Doug's voice. We love Joe and Jill. We really do. They truly are like family to us. And we do, everybody here does.
It's mutual.
I knew you were still there. You're not going anywhere, Joe.
I'm watching you, kid. I'm watching you, kid. I love you.
I love you, Joe. Oh.
Damn! Still on the phone. He's like, don't you be talking now.
So, Joe, I'm going to recognize some of the. I'm going to get back to you. Hold on a second. So let me please acknowledge some extraordinary national leaders who are also dear friends, both to the president and to me. Governor John Carney, where are you? There you are. And his wife, they are
Damn,
here.
look at her
Senator
pointing to
Tom
people,
Carper, my
remembering their
friend.
names, not for
His wife
speech.
is here. Chris Coons,
How
my dear
refreshing.
friend. Attorney General Kathy Jennings. The mayor is here. Przicki, where are you? There. And the next United States Senator from the great state of Delaware is here, Lisa. And I know everyone here has seen these elected leaders in this very campaign office on a regular basis. And I know Joe is so thankful to them for their lifelong friendship, but I want to thank them also because you guys have really been carrying some heavy water from the first days of our campaign. So thank you all. This truly is a Delaware family. Thank you. I want to thank Jen O'Malley Dillon. Where is she, Jen? I'm going to talk about her in a minute. Julie Chavez Rodriguez. Sheila Nix. There you are. And the entire team that is here. I want to thank all of you and those who are joining from offices across our nation. So Doug and I wanted to stop by today to thank everybody and to express just what we know to be true. You all have been working so hard. The people in this office have been working so hard. And you have given so much of yourselves, long days and nights, what you are sacrificing in terms of the time you could be spending with other friends and other family. And you're giving yourselves to our country because you love our country. And
Joe's listening on the other side like, you clapping a little too hard, okay?
And so today, just right after Joe made his announcement, it was important for me to continue with his role of leadership in this office, of like him, who has said for many, many, many months, and I say it today, thank you all so very much for what you are doing
thank you.
and what you will continue to do. So let's applaud the team. And I know it's been a roller coaster, and we're all filled with so many mixed emotions about this. I just have to say, I love Joe Biden. I love Joe Biden, and I know we all do, and we have so many darn good reasons for loving Joe Biden. And I have full faith that this team is the team will be the reason we win in November. You all who are here. And as Julie always says, and I will quote the great Julie, we are one team, one fight. One team, one fight. And she's been an extraordinary campaign manager. She's going to continue in this role and see us to victory in November. And we are all here because we love our country, right? And we believe in our foundational principles. We believe in freedom and opportunity and justice, not for some, but for all. And so we have 106 days until Election Day, and in that time, we have some hard work to do. And as JOD always reminds us, we can do hard things. JOD has been such an incredible leader of this team, and that is why I have just asked her to run my campaign, and she has accepted. And so over the next 106 days, we are going to take our case to the American people, and we are going to win. We are going to win.
Jen O'Malley Dillon.
Now I'm getting back to you, Joe. I will tell you.
What was it? What was it?
One of the
Ricchetti
greatest
and
honors of
Jen
my
O'Malley
life,
Dillon are the two
truly,
top
to serve
campaign
as
advisors.
Vice President to our President Joe Biden. Joe's legacy of accomplishment.
What is going on?
Just over a lifetime, but just over the last
With the
3.5
quality!
years is unmatched in modern history. In one term, he has already surpassed the legacy of most presidents who served to witness to all this work. I would sit with Joe in the Oval Office while he would bring members of both sides of the aisle and talk and listen and help them see what they may have in common.
Could tell the excitement in the room. She's going to bring that excitement to the people that we need to bring to the polls. The young people, women, suburban women who can vote either Republican or Democratic. And I'm really excited that not only can she win North Carolina, but she can help us with these other important races in our state, like Josh Stein's governor's race and Jeff Jackson's attorney general's race and Mo Green, who's running for our superintendent of public instruction in North Carolina for our public schools. We have extreme Republican candidates on the other side who fit just with Donald Trump. They're all MAGA. And North Carolina, that's not who we are. So I'm excited that this November we get a chance to prove that.
So, Governor, you've made it clear that the vice.
Shapiro's a good pick for VP. I mean, not really. He's a really great pick for Pennsylvania. You get Shapiro on that ticket, Pennsylvania's a lock. And you need Pennsylvania. You have to win Pennsylvania, which is precisely the reason why they might go with him. But I'm not a fan of him. He's a conservative Democrat. He is not exactly a even remotely pro-labor kind of dude. He has said horrifying things about the pro-Palestinian student demonstrations and has advocated to sick the cops on him. Like, PA doesn't even like him that much. You're wrong. Pennsylvania loves him. You're wrong on that front. There were some polls conducted on Josh Shapiro running for president, and he was like out competing every other candidate, like Kamala Harris, everyone else, by like 10 points, which is of course normal. I mean, you're wrong. He just won. You just don't like him because he's a Jew. Yes, famously. I don't like Kamala Harris because I hate black women and Asian women. And I don't like Josh Shapiro, not because of the reasons that I just mentioned, but because he's Jewish, despite the fact that, you know, my favorite American politician, or at least one of my favorite American politicians, is a very prominent Jewish Democrat, now independent, by the name of Bernard Sanders. I knew it. Yeah, Kamala Harris is getting all the union endorsements, just picking them up, which is not surprising at all. Hasan going with, I have friends that are Jewish defense to hating Jews. I didn't even say that. Anyway, people want you to be so badly. Yeah. Well, it's not just that. It's that a lot of people want like some secret narrative behind like why I'm saying the things I'm saying. It just can't be the things I'm saying. There's got to be some other secret reason. Yeah. JB Pritzker is also Jewish. Yeah, I did not know that. And I'm I'm fairly certain many of the J.B. Pritzker fans in here did not know that. J.B. Pritzker is like, I mean, he's great. He would be great.
President is your choice here to represent the Democrats top the ticket. What do you think will be some of her?
He's too Fred Flintstone looking. It's just people trying to make you unpalatable to the left on like Reddit and clips. Yeah, I know. He's too Fred Flintstone coded. Like, yeah. Now that I know J.B. Pritzker is Jewish, I still like him a lot. That does not weigh on my consideration at all because I'm not an anti-Semitic freak.
Strongest arguments? How is she uniquely perhaps positioned to prosecute a case against Donald Trump?
Well, because she's a prosecutor, number one. And I think that when you compare her prosecuting criminals like Donald Trump, that's going to be powerful. She is relatively young and strong and vigorous. Donald Trump is old and forgetful, and she's going to be able to make that contrast. She also has credentials of serving as Attorney General, protecting consumers. She is the protector of consumers, while Donald Trump is the con man. There's so many ways that Vice President Harris can show that she can be president of this country. She's been to 20 countries. She's met with over 150 leaders. She gets credit for the fact that I've been able to go out and talk with people who actually now have high-speed internet who didn't before because of the bipartisan infrastructure plan. She can take credit for the money that's going to replace the bridge in Wilmington, North Carolina, that's a lifeline to the southeastern part of our state. She gets credit for the woman who came up to me in tears, who was so excited that they were finally going to get a new water system and she didn't have to fight through so many boil water days. People who've been excited to get Medicaid expansion in North Carolina. Donald Trump wants to come and take that health care card right out of their hands.
Yeah, that was his big move, by the way. Roy Cooper's.
Kamala Harris has helped to defend people's right to health care. She knows it's important. Donald Trump wants an America where it's easier to get an assault weapon than it is to get health care. So we need to bring all of these issues to the forefront. I believe she is the person to do it. She has really been hitting her stride over the last couple of years. She's ready to run this race.
North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, thank you very much for being on the show this morning.
Do you like this guy? I mean, I don't think he's not my favorite. He's just like kind of boring. All right, many Democrats rally around Harris after Biden drops out.
Speaking of the vice president, she has quickly emerged as the top contender for the...
Oh, Steve Kornacki. Well, I can't wait for this one. This is what I wanted to watch. And then we'll look at John Oliver.
Presidential nomination, and she has been working the phones, reportedly wearing a Howard University sweatshirt, where she is, of course, a proud alum. So far, nearly 2/3 of Democrats in the House and at least 28 Democratic senators have endorsed her, and some state delegates have already pledged their support. Nancy Cordes is at the White House joining us to talk about this. Nancy, good morning.
Vlad, good morning to you. You know, if Vice President Harris does secure the Democratic nomination, which she is poised to do, she will be the first woman of color at the top of a major party ticket. But she's used to being the first. It's been a common theme throughout her career.
I, Kamala Davy Harris, solemnly swear.
Kamala Harris made history 4 years ago, becoming the first woman, the first black person, and the first Asian American to ascend to the vice presidency. Now, she's looking to make history again.
And when we fight, we win.
The 59-year-old from California began her career as a prosecutor, winning statewide office in 2010 to become California's Attorney General, then winning a coveted Senate seat in 2016.
Can you think of any laws that give government the power to make decisions about the male body?
Her sharp questioning as a member of the Judiciary Committee drew national attention. And just 3 years into her first term, she made a bid for the Democratic presidential nomination. After she dropped out, she was tapped by Joe Biden to be his running mate.
But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
As vice president, Harris has been tasked with leading efforts to address migration to the southern border, making her a target for Republican critiques.
Appointing Kamala Harris to oversee the border is like appointing Bernie Madoff to oversee your retirement plan.
She has also been the administration's fiercest advocate when it comes to reproductive rights.
Donald Trump thinks the government is in a better position to tell women what's in their best interest.
Over the past few weeks, as Biden faced mounting pressure to step aside, she remained staunchly supportive.
Joe Biden is our nominee.
He, in turn, insisted she is ready to do his job if called upon.
What is it about her attributes and her accomplishments over the last 4 years that make her ready to serve on day one if necessary?
First of all, the way she's handled the issue of freedom of women's bodies to have control over their bodies. She is qualified to be president. That's why I picked her.
Harris said yesterday she wants to earn this nomination, and to prove that, she spent more than 10 hours.
Real talk, do you think she can actually win? Yes, of course. Of course I do. Donald Trump is a very unpopular candidate. He's a very weak candidate. I've explained this time and time again. Okay? He is. A competent Democrat could make short work, light work of Donald Trump. I think Kamala Harris is a competent Democrat. Will I agree with everything that she's advocating for? No, of course not. Do I agree with her policy positions of the past? Or not really, not necessarily. But I'm not the average voter, and neither are you. Now, having said that, there are things that she still needs to do. She doesn't have as easy of a job to defeat Donald Trump, especially after this past month of mishaps from the Democratic Party. Kamala Harris has her work cut out for her, and there are some policy changes that she needs to advocate for. It's going to be hard to do so when Joe Biden is the president still. So she has her work cut out for her. She also needs to communicate in a passionate way policies that will truly make Americans' lives better, while simultaneously calling into question the Republican narratives and open calls for violence, open disdain for democracy, and also, civil liberties and the like. On top of that, the Republican policy, like the most significant Republican policy coming up, is literally concentration camps for tens of millions of people living on U.S. soil right now. Okay? Pulling that off would be unimaginably violent. Democrats have yet to talk about that. Okay? Democrats rarely ever talk about that, which is really crazy. There's always more that goes, Dawn time, baby, send them back. I think we should send you back. Like, actually, anytime somebody chirps like this, I think you should get sent back. And it doesn't matter where, really. Did you just say tens of millions? Yes, I did.
Yesterday, making phone calls to more than 100 politicians, advocates, and labor leaders. Her campaign says it took in $49.7 million from grassroots supporters yesterday alone. That would make it the biggest fundraising day of the 2024 cycle, Vlad.
It's an important point, Nancy, but let me ask you, if Vice President Harris were to secure the nomination, do you have any sense of who she could pick as her running mate?
Well, I think you'd have to look first at Democratic governors and senators from battleground states, and there are no shortage of them. So that means Governor Roy Cooper of North Carolina. She campaigned with him last week. They were state AGs together. They go way back. Governor Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania. She just campaigned with him, too. Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan. Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona. And then I throw in Andy Beshear of Kentucky. He's a popular Democratic governor in a...
It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be Gavin Newsom. I don't think it's going to be Gavin Newsom unless there's an open convention and like Nancy Pelosi shows to whip votes to ensure that he gets the delegates or some and is at the top of the ticket, which would be super chaotic. Why do they fundraise? Aren't these people rich already? Genuinely asking. What do you mean? It's like billions of dollars being spent on ad spend. That's why they fundraise. Does Kamala, have the balls to kick Putin out of Ukraine? Because right now Trump looks like this guy with balls, and she does not. What do you think? I mean, we don't need World War III because of weak USA leaders. My boy D. Pua, Trump definitely has the balls to kick Putin out of Ukraine, for sure.
Red state. And by the way, Vlad, I'm told Harris called all 5 of them on the phone yesterday.
Yeah, and Shapiro was right out at the gate with the endorsement. All right, Nancy, thank you very much.
Independent Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia joined.
I'm not even going to entertain Joe Manchin. He can suck my dick. Okay, let's see. Let's see Steve Kornacki with the khaki. Back at it again with the fucking khaki pants. This is what I've been actually genuinely excited to watch this entire day because I'm a fucking nerd, okay? I want to hear what he has to say about Kamala's chances on the road to 270.
NBC's national political correspondent Steve Kornacki with us now and the big board. So let's look deeper into those polls, how Kamala Harris fares in a matchup against Trump.
Yeah, and the headline, Savannah, is right now at least not that much different. Take a look. This is an average of the 10 national polls that have come out since that debate last month. Yeah, Trump at 47, Harris at 46. If you ran this same average, Biden versus Trump, it was a 2-point Trump lead. So very, very slight improvement to start out, but obviously that's something that's within the margin of error there. Democrats are really kind of starting in the same place.
And so what about the key groups? Does she perform better with particular groups, and does that open up a path or other states potentially?
And I thought this was interesting. In our own most recent NBC poll, here are some groups when you match Harris against Trump where she actually fares better than Biden did. Headline there is black voters, almost a 10-point difference there. Harris improvement. The left wing of the Democratic base, Sanders, Warren voters, and folks 35 to 49 years old. The flip side, though, is Trump improves in some areas with Harris in the race, at least according to our poll. Here you see Republican voters who aren't satisfied Trump's their nominee. Think Haley voters here, white males with college degrees. These two groups I think you tend to find in the suburbs. Suburbs have been a big place for Democrats to be growing lately. So you take a look at our road to 270. The 6 core battleground states are there in.
This is why I'm saying Democrats need to shift strategy immediately, because for the past 4 years under the Biden regime, they have shifted their strategy to the suburbs. When it's Kamala Harris, you know, the suburb racists, the Hitlerian suburb racists are going to be like, well, you know, maybe Trump doesn't look too bad. What you have to do in that circumstance is go back to the fucking constituencies that actually allow you to win elections, okay? And in order to do that, you have to, in order to activate those bases, you can't go along with the same narrative on Gaza, and you can't go along with the same narrative on the border. This is why I've been saying what I've been saying, okay? Is that sure from Bode? No.
Gray. Those numbers I just showed you, well, if you're a Democrat and you see the number among black voters, you think maybe Georgia, maybe Harris could help you there. You know, that's a state with a large black population. Trump's been running very well there in the polls. But again, the flip side is if Trump's posting improvements in the suburbs with Harris in the race, the suburbs around Atlanta, that could wipe it all out for
Arizona,
them. And Arizona,
young voters, suburbs around Phoenix potentially, because prior to this, the real path for Biden was those Rust Belt states. So potentially it opens up more battlegrounds.
And I think that's the thing. The reason why Biden had that path you're talking about in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania is the growth for Trump and the weakness for Biden has been non-white voters. So Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, with much more diverse populations than those Midwest states.
I have a feeling we'll be meeting here many times in the future. Steve, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Doesn't only focus on urban areas leave you weak in the House and state legislatures? I mean, there's still the Trump equation here. There's still the Trump issue here. I wish there was more on this cover. One of them here.
Racist. It is the weirdest thing to me. Democrats say that it is racist to believe, well, they say it's racist to do anything. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too, but
No, they're not. Suck my dick. You're not a real soda boy. Okay? Fuck you. Oh, also, here's another compelling narrative from
about
Jebediah Vance.
our likely opponent, Kamala Harris, because, you know, she said a couple of days ago that I showed no loyalty to the United States, that I have no loyalty to the United States. Well, you know, I don't know Kamala. I served in the United States Marine Corps, and I built a business. What the hell have you done other than collect a government check for the past 20 years?
Welfare Queen dog whistles? I mean, I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying, like, Kamala Harris is a government employee, to be fair. Which is weird because, like, Marine Corps is also collecting a government check. What does he think? It's probably both. It's probably like, oh, black woman, welfare queen type shit. But, like, just enough, like, it leans on that and it gets the message across, but it's also leaving it into question. It's like just vague enough that it can be defended to be like, oh, they're calling me racist. You're just insinuating that. No, I think I think that's precisely what he's doing. It's just like a classic way to do racist baiting with plausible deniability. Oh, dude, I can't believe you're saying that to me. That's like, what? Why are you saying I'm being racist? Obviously, I meant like she's collecting government checks because she's been in government.
Speaker Pelosi, what's your reaction to President Biden's decision to leave the race?
Well, I've been talking about that quite a bit, but we're very excited about praising his legacy and electing Kamala Harris president.
Do you think there should be a more open process for nominating?
Well, anybody can run. They can run.
Oh, this doesn't mean what. Okay, I thought she meant like. Okay, the way this was presented to me when you guys sent me this tweet made it seem like she was looking for like a potential Newsom out. No, she's just saying like run if you want, but like Kamala is the ticket.
But she's being supported.
We're good. Right here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's more like a they can try type shit. Probably more so a shot at Joe Manchin. Fucking asshole. Anyway, I hope women take notice that Trump is in the habit of calling her dumb and crazy. Wow, just watching fake news and they're doing their very best to turn the worst president in the history of our country into a brilliant, heroic leader. He was heroic because he quit. And to turn dumb as rock Kamala Harris from a totally failed and insignificant vice president into a future great president. No, it just doesn't work that way. Yeah, I mean, he's just going to hit that. They really don't have a lot of, yeah. Oh, AP delegate survey has Kamala on the way to presumptive nominee by the end of the night, possibly. Yeah, Kamala Harris has already crossed the 50% threshold for all delegates needed. And she's even gone far beyond that, actually. She's at 1,500. She needs 1,900 for the nomination. She will most likely have it wrapped up by tonight, which is expected. I know we discussed this yesterday, but with Kamala's voting record, why aren't we more excited about that? Because Kamala Harris was a senator in California at a time when Donald Trump was president. So what a lot of Green senators, especially, depending on how they want to present themselves, will make like bold proclamations, will sometimes even take like radical positions because they know it's never going to pass. That's why I didn't place a lot of emphasis on her track record when she was running against Bernie Sanders as well. Yeah, that's definitely like that's a classic thing that Democrats do. Very different dynamic if you notice when the Democrats have the majority in the Senate and the House, and also simultaneously the White House. If you recall, the politicking, the dynamic changes quite a bit, almost like they do a fucking